Ever hear somebody at the table yell, yo, on the hop? And they take their money in and they'll throw it towards the stickman right there. That's a yo on the hop, meaning I want 11 on the next roll. Welcome back to Craps University. Today we're going to dive into one of the flashiest bets on the table. It's not only flashy, but it's risky. And that are hop bets. Those are right here. So we have all combinations. We have, in this setting, we have 4 through 10 hops. Even the 7 here, you can hop 7s. If you want to hop 11, you can do right there. Or you can do any crap. You know, there's other ways that you could do. You could say you want to do not a horn high, but you just want to play aces or acey-deucey, midnight, yo. So for me, I just want to talk about this section right here because you are betting on a particular combination to show. We've got easies and we got hards. And the hards are only for the even numbers. 4, 6, 8, 10. Those are the hard ways. And you have to be very specific when you want to bet on one of those 4 numbers. You have to tell the dealer hop 10s. And what they're going to do is they're going to play $25 on both of those. Or if you just want to say hop the easy, you can do it like that. There's only one way to roll a hard 10, but there's 2 ways to roll an easy 10. The right die and the left die, the one roll will be 6-4. And then another row would be 4-6. So 2 combinations there. So usually when you bet, and you'll learn this, bet in even amounts so they can split that knowing that it pays 30 to 1. Actually, it does pay 30 to 1 because they're not going to know the difference. So you could do 25, of course, which would pay 750, which is good. Usually the even numbers have to be down here, like 9, easy. There's no hard 9, but there's 2 different combinations. And then when you get into the 9s here, hey, that's a mistake on this table. 9, 9, same. Never noticed that until now. That's a mistake on the table. You've got 6s right here. This really should be a 6-2. Not a 6-3, because that would give you a combination of 8. I want my money back for this table. Maybe I'll just refeld it. How about that? I'll have some, that's interesting that I'm talking about that. I'll have some videos in the future about building your own table, possibly some plans and supplies you need to buy. So stay tuned for that when I get there. 6s, 5s, and then 4s. Hard ways on all of them, pay 30 to 1. It's fantastic. High risk, high reward. So when you're rolling this, they don't know left or right, really. So they're are 15 total die combination in the hot bets, okay? Yep, 15. Very interesting. So if you just want to hop the easies, you could say hop the inside easies, and what they'll do is, let's just say there are 4. So the inside easies, so starting at 5, they do something like that. So if you hop the inside easies, you're not doing the hard ways. You're not doing outside. You're not doing the 7s. So it's very straightforward. That means that you have 25 on each of those numbers. Depending on the dealer, they'll decide. Maybe they'll spread them all out. Maybe they'll stack them and split them like that. But if you're doing hot bets, you're more of an advanced player. You'll know what's going on. You can also call out, and these are one roll bets. You could also say, you could take your hard ways, give them $100, and that you say hop the hard ways, and that pays 30 to 1. That's a nice payout, but it's only one roll. It's not like these hard ways, which these are considered all day, and all day for the roll. Okay, just until the dealers or the shooter 7's out, they're all day, and they're going to be up. If you have a hard 8 played and a easy 8 hits, they'll take it down. Pretty straightforward. So the house edge on easy hops, 11.11%. Hard hops, almost 14%. So as you can see, high risk, high reward. We'll roll through some examples here. Some things that I like to do when I'm ahead, we'll do that. So when you compare hopping like 6 and 8 here, if you place them, your house edge on a place bet is 1.5%. So this is sustainable. This is throughout the entire roll until the shooter 7's out. This single roll bet, high, like I said, high risk, high reward. I've seen people jump onto a table, buying with $1,000, put it all out on hops, boom, gone. You know, some things you don't see in these hops right here. You don't see 11, 12, 2, and 3. So that is 6 combinations all in itself. And, you know, just because they have lower probability to roll, they do roll. They do come out like that. For hot bets, get them in early. If they pushing the dice, they're not going to take a hot bet. It's a risk for the casino since they pay out so well. Tell the stickman your combo and amount, and really, you can talk to the dealer about it, but it's really the stickman that's controlling these proposition bets as a whole. And to get help for the stickman, he's controlling the dice. The boxman usually watches over this, probably due to the payout. You can really, I've done really good on some hot bets, but it's luck. You know, it's not sustainable. You could do maybe 2, but once you get into 3, it really starts getting dicey. Try to use even dollar amounts. Don't expect change from a hot bet. So if you put 25 in and you said hop easy sixes, they put 25 right there, but really what your bet is $12 and $12. So you're wasting $1. So try to get change, or if you want to risk it even more, you can put 2 greens out there so you can get your full payout. So when do you use hot bets? For me, it's heat of the moment. It's fun. When you're chasing a repeater, if you're feeling lucky, if you're trying for a wild parlay. And I have actually won hot bets and pressed them and won again. And it's pretty nice. Everybody at the table is kind of like, what the hell is that? Because the payouts are nice. When do you want to avoid it? When you're managing your bankroll. If you're managing your bankroll, that should be case to look at. If you want to play a 6, place them. You know, don't put it in the field for these numbers, but everybody should be managing their bankroll and know where they stand at all times. You should avoid it if you don't understand the payout. I've seen some table arguments about payouts. I saw somebody do $600 across, and one roll he told them do the easies. So here we go. Here are the easies. So that individual that day made a mistake because I think he was trying to tell the dealer that he wanted to, since he did this last time, he wanted to play split that and leave out the 6 and 8 hard ways. So he would be splitting basically 2 combinations on everything. But then again, when there's a table argument, try to stay out of it. And of course I did. And it resolved to, he played the easies and it hit like a hard 10 or a hard 4. And it was very heated because that right there, $1,500. And that is why you've got to be intent on what you're doing at the table. You have to know what you're doing. Just because it pays out nice, know what you're doing. You've got eyes. You can see what's here. You know where your bet's at, okay? There's not a lot of action in the hops. It comes and goes as a roll happens. If you're new to the game, stay away from this. If you notice some of the past episodes I did, we were talking about items over here in this part of the table, right? Only now are we getting into prop bets. Hot bets are very difficult, therefore more of an advanced player that most likely is ahead. And I've seen people do hot bets because they might be desperate because they're behind and they think that that's gonna catch them up. So, you know, hot bets feel like mini lotteries. They're low frequency winners. You're not investing, you're spicing things up. So that's why when you got some money, you're playing with some casino money, I recommend playing some hops every once in a while. So there are some systems out there, and there are thousands of crap systems, and we'll cover, it'll probably take a decade to cover everything, but as we've been trying some systems, the more popular, but I have not seen a hop incorporated into a system. So let's do this. Let's do some rolls, okay? And we'll play some hop bets, and we'll play them for 25. All right, coming out. 5. All right. This is somebody else shooting. Oh, I feel good. I'm ahead. Let's hop the inside easies. And this is $2,500. Okay. So I'm going to hop the inside easies. That's $50 on each, or $200, okay? So hopping the inside easies, there are 16 combinations for that out of 36. Still, they have an advantage, but let's see what happens. Let me get this stick out of the way. All right. Easy 6. All right. There we go. Easy 6. So we lose everything else, but we get paid $375 for that win. $375 for that win, and we'll rack that up. And what are we going to do? We're going to come back. That one will stay. We'll come back and we'll put down some more. Now we're hopping the inside easies. We hit 1. Let's go. 9. 9, center field 9, right here. It was a 6-3. So we lose everything else. Same thing. $375. That pays $375. I'm going to take one of these blacks. That's $375. And we're going to come back on the hot bets. Okay? So split, 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 and split. So there we go. All right, let's see what happens here. 6, easy 6. That's a hot bet too. Again, we're gonna get paid $375. That is the 4 deuce. We lose those hops, but coming back is $375. We rack 200, and there we go. We're back out. So basically what this has done, if we were to quit right now, if you see here, that's $600. We've done 3 rolls, and this profits us $200 a roll. So if I stopped right now, $600 profit. Okay, but let's just say I'm greedy. I want to push it. I'm in it to win it. Let's go. 8. 8 easy. Rinse and repeat. Okay, so that's a 5-3. We lose all of that. We know that this is 175. So that's the 200 profit. I rack. And then we're hopping again. Now, I've never hopped this many times. What you could also do, since we know we're putting 200 out, let's just be greedy. Take that 200 that we won last time and we'll press it up. And so we're now playing $50. We're hopping $50 on all the inside easies. So that would be the terminology that you'd use. Tell the dealer, put your money out there, say hop the easies, the inside easies. All right, let's see what this does. 9. Winner 9. So we know we're getting paid $375. And that is the 6-3. So we leave $50 there. That's $350. So we're going to get paid $750. So that's $400. And the green that we took off from the other bets, just for demonstration purposes, that is $100 each stack of green, except for that one. $100, 400 in black, 350 in green. We're going to rack the black, and we're going to go back out on the hops. 100 every number. I've never done this at a casino, but wish us luck. All right, let's go. 4. Easy 4. That's an outside number. We're done. They rack all that up. But I'm going to buy 200. Okay. This is what we initially started with, and this is our profit from that. $800. Granted, our rolls were good, but since we lost our momentum, and then I'm getting out. So that's the time when you play hot bets. Try not to play with your own money. Like I said, play with the casino's money. When you've won, that's the time to move into some hot bets, and you can make some money fairly quick. You know, you could even start off on $5 and like an inside. That's my preferred, because I know the inside, there's more combinations. Now, when you get to the outside, 10 easy and a 4 easy. That's another mistake. That should be 15 to 1. That says 30 to 1. Yep, I think my next venture is refilting this because there's some issues with it. But anyways, 800 bucks, I'd take it. You can go over there and play some slot machines then with $800. So hot bets are fun, flashy. They do get your adrenaline going. They're one roll bets. They do work into some crap systems. Nothing that we've touched so far. They are very high risk. Over 11% house edge. Now, that's pretty bad. So try a hot bet next time if you're feeling bold. But don't build your strategy around the hot bets, because that will be a high house edge strategy, and that's not what we're going for. We're trying to bring the house edge closer to being almost even. Have you ever hot bet before? Let us know in the comments. Let's talk about it. I want to see everybody's experience. So comment below. If you want to see more information about hot bets, let us know. And we will do our best to get that out there. So I got one last kind of myth. So these are the hot bets I'm talking about. But technically, if somebody hopped a yo, that's still a hot bet. You're just hopping that number. So the myth is that somebody hopped and parlayed their 11, and 11 hit 3 times. So let's count that out. So that $100 win would be $1,500. Okay? If it was to happen again, actually, let's not use 5,000. Let's use 1,000. So if that happened again, for easy math, 1,500, and that pays 15 to 1. Yellow is 15,000. And then that's a lot of cash. I mean, we've got some 5,000 chips, 1,000, 500. We've got black and green. So, is that true? Yeah, it can be. I've seen a yo hit 3 times in a row, easy. But you got to be at the right place at the right time. And my luck, they're not going to hit 3 times in a row, or I'm not going to parlay 3 times in a row, you know? But that's a really nice, and usually, like that second bet, after the second win, most tables are not going to allow you to play the full amount. They have maximum bets on the table. I see a lot of $5,000, but I'm playing $2,500 tables minimums. So that's when you start seeing 5. I've seen some 10,000, but they're not going to let you bet that much. If anybody else has a myth around hot bets, also let us know in the comments. Thanks everybody for watching Craps University. We're out of here. Thanks.